In the far west of Cornwall, nestled in the valley between the village of St Buryan and Lamorna Cove, lies the Trewth Wartha farm. It comprises of 50 acres of meadows bordered by ancient Cornish granite hedging, marshlands, native woodlands, and an apple orchard. The farm is unsprayed, and for much of the year, the meadow's grasses and flowers are allowed to reach full maturity, reseeding themselves and providing the perfect habitat for our native wild species. The woodland and marshland have never been cultivated, giving pockets of peaceful habitation for a wide range of creatures to appear through the day and night. Rare meadow plants are commonplace here, now classified as nationally scarce. Fumitory thrives on the farm's land. The scarcity not only affects its own population, but is seen to directly impact the turtle dove that has had a massive population crash of 93% since the 1970s. Due to the plant's abundance here, both bird and plant species have been given a second chance of population stability. As the sun rises, it warms the farmlands on this morning in late July. The recently cut fields reveal early risers, getting the first pick of the new shoots rising through the hay. The newly topped orchard creates a soft base for a morning nap, but this might be cut short for this little harvest mouse. It has had a lie-in and has not seen the danger that flies ahead. Buzzards have quadrupled their population since the 1970s, as protection has become paramount and pesticide use was reduced. Now breeding pairs of 70,000 can be seen across the UK. Pausing to stand sentinel, the raptor keenly watches for signs that dinner is served. It's a close call for this oversleeper. The top-tier predator has found their prey on the opposing field. Water for the farm is supplied directly from the borehole, which gives clean, soft water and has been filtered naturally through the granite substrata. A helping hand in the polytunnel applies a foliate feed to the vegetables. The feed is a traditional mix of nettles and comfrey found on the farm, mulched in rainwater. This natural fertilizer is given to plants once they start to flower and fruit. The strong fetid odor attracts pollinators who visit the flowers and are partially drawn to the aromatics of the oregano, mint, and dill herbs planted amongst the vegetables. These expert pollinators, with a little anthropogenic aid, allow the natural process to occur and keep the land fruitful. As farm dog Merlin takes a break from his hard work, a beautiful tune can be heard from the empty barns. The swallow calls out. All alone, it circles back and forth into the barn to see if anyone has arrived. Nests can be found all the way through the barns, but these are all bare, indicating nobody's home, so it retreats to the pylon and waits. Finally, the late arrivals. This flight of swallows will stay here till early September, preparing for their long migration to South Africa for the winter. The afternoon is drowsy with the heat. The stream runs through the valley, along the marshlands and into the woods, before emptying itself into the sea at Lamorna Cove. The warmth and thick foliage provide the perfect conditions for dragon and damselflies to feed and breed. Dragonfly Alley is the name given to this favoured spot, where the shade of the woodland breaks into the full sun of a more open marsh. The brambles and hemlock almost choke the stream in these summer months, The beautiful damselfly, which richly deserves its name since the male is an iridescent blue, whilst the female is green and gold, flirt with each other among the flora. The afternoon heat leaves the fields warmed up for the evening. The late risers start to emerge, foraging for what is left of the day. Merlin catches one of his most favoured scents in the air. A fox. This highly adaptable species can survive in a range of environments and has chosen Wartha Farm as their home. The country fox is timid and will skulk watchfully, only appearing when the coast is clear. Males are seen more regularly at this time of year, as the females stay in underground dens, caring for their young that were born this spring. In the golden hours before dusk, they start to lope around the field, hedgerows, and woods in search of rabbits and mice. Climatic changes in weather between 2020 and 2021 has caused some to start a late annual molt, which usually begins in the springtime. This subtle change in short term will not affect the foxes, but with time it could bring long-term effects into the species and their population if their thick coat does not return in time for the harsh winter. Night falls and the inhabitants of Badger City start to stir. The forest thrives at night with an abundance of mammals emerging to find a midnight snack. From sets scattered across the forest, the badgers appear in search of any earthworms or nuts and fruits that they can find. They sometimes shed their inhibitions to gorge on the fermented fallen apples in the orchard, or the odd parsnip if the humans forget to close the polytunnel doors at night. They follow their chosen trails and fell trees to cover the stretch of forest for the most profitable source. Making use of the forest's fruitfulness, they get moving. Taking a detour to their latrine area, which they meticulously use, keeping their living areas clean. This dense oasis is situated far away from any roads and is only accessible by foot to farmers, who may pass through it in the day. So by night, it becomes a safe, undisturbed social hub for species to thrive and flourish. As the new dawn breaks, the badgers and other forest folk head back to their homes as the neighbours start to wake once more. Humans' constant and ever-increasing pull on resources disrupts, often catastrophically, the lifestyle of the flora and fauna that share this space. Modifications to diet and lifestyle are to aid these creatures. They are essential to the ecosystem and our own survival. Investigating and pursuing these modifications will help us tackle the hurdles that will inevitably come our way. For animals and humans to live harmoniously, the codependency between us will work best when it is accepted and nurtured. The farm's variety in land gives species time and the perfect climate for native, rare, and exotic flora and fauna to resurge and thrive. To preserve our Earth, working together is vital. Wartha Farm stands as a symbol of our future.